a buck snort. Where was it? I can smell his breath. It's terrible. Must be a big one.
God or something. Hey, we know it.
Like many of my Midwestern brethren, hunting white-tailed deer is essentially a religion. And 2023 was definitely a good year. Early in October, my youngest son managed to get his first whitetail ever, a nice doe with a rifle. Unfortunately, however, I managed to screw up the recording and didn't get it on camera. But a month later, in the bow season, when I was able to get back out into the woods after a heavy work season, I did manage to have some success. So it's November 6th. It's a windy and warm day. Bucks have been running like crazy. I had an 8-point. That wasn't a shooter come under my stand last night. So today I'm gonna sit over water. If they're running and running, they gotta get thirsty. And I also had a thought, mid 50s, warm for boots. And I got to thinking, you know what? I've never shot a deer in my flip-flops before. So we're gonna see how this goes. It's about noon. I'm gonna sit out the rest of the day over that water and see what happens. One thing that I hadn't considered was the fact that it wouldn't remain in the 50s all day long. Also, it's much harder to stay warm when the winds are gusting to 30 miles an hour. And sitting 20 feet up in the air in a ladder stand, it made for a long afternoon. Been out here for a few hours now, and man, it is windy. No sign of deer yet. We got 2 hours of daylight left, but still trying to make the flip-flops happen. We'll see, just gotta be patient. My toes were getting numb, but I was determined to make this work. It's getting a little sketchy. Fortunately, persistence paid off. And though he wasn't a bruiser, we did have a contender enter the scene. I passed on my first couple of opportunities with this little guy because he isn't what I wanted. He was right about the same class as the 8-pointer that I had passed on the day before. However, I did not want to pass up an opportunity being in a stand in the flip-flops, so I decided to keep an eye on him. not as big as I wanted, but I could not pass up the opportunity to nail one in my flip-flops. Check mark. Only a few minutes to spare too. Oh, here he is. He turns out he took the wrong turn I didn't want him to, and he came all the way down this steep hill, but he didn't go far, so he's got to drag him back up. Gave him a few minutes, waited for reinforcements. Got Jess behind the camera. Not a big buck, but I'll take it for flip-flops and beat that. Now the work starts.